are live.
We live a minute early. Weatherman, go ahead and like it. Hey, you like it, share it. I like it. Hold on, I didn't hear you, lady. Hold on. Let me get the AC/DC down. Say that again. Does he respond to you? Let's go ahead and get that guy signed up. Sign another one up, Katrina. All right, kids, we're about to go live. My mama liked the video. I appreciate you, mama. Mama, I can't do it without you. We're going to start at 1 o'clock. We are almost... Hey, it is 1 o'clock. What do you know? It's showtime with GTT, the weatherman. We got the storm. We got Sparkle. And we got the new kid, Big Josh Henry from the Richardson Group in here. Thank you, fella, for... Hey, where are you going?
Oh, no, I'm standing right here. Yep.
Sitting here. Hey, Joy, the new kid, he ain't really doing much.
Hurts.
Every Wednesday we come to you live on the set here at GT2 Studios, along with...
AKA the Weatherman.
The Weatherman, the inventor of the show. Every Wednesday, 1 o'clock, we're going to come to you because we are the #1 digital source for real estate content in Murfreesboro, Tennessee. 1 o'clock on Thomas C. Davidson's Facebook. Today, we're going to talk about home inspections, but before we get into home inspection, the Weatherman has got to talk about the sponsors.
Talk about the people that make this show happen. They keep the lights on for us.
That's right. Can't do without them.
Hey, and they're three of our most favorite people. So we're going to start out this week with a lady I just called, Belinda Arringer over at Iberia Mortgage. The reason she continues to be one of the top, if not the top, is she answered the phone immediately, she called the client immediately, and she did it. So it's amazing that she responds that quickly. Belinda, we thank you very much. Scott Abernathy, we had a great lunch with him, one of the smartest guys that we know, and one of the best property managers in all the surrounding counties. If you're looking for any of your property needs, call Scott Abernathy. And our favorite guy, we like to call him the Trout Magnet, Mr. Roy Frazier over there with Farm Bureau Insurance. He'll take care of all your Farm Bureau, all your insurance needs, no matter what it is. And I think Tommy has a guy that he likes to talk about.
Going to talk about my new guy.
New guy.
Charles Bain with R3 Contractors. He's going to help us with our termites. So I got to get him a big old bug up here that says Charles Bain Incorporated. What do you think about that?
Whatever you want to do.
Can I put his face on yours?
Absolutely, depending on what it looks like.
But he's our new termite guy. So every Wednesday we want to talk about a relevant topic to real estate. We'd like to make this simple because me and the Weatherman are very simple people.
Simple-minded.
Simple-minded. We're not very smart, all right,
Not
but
very
we're
smart.
funny. We know how to have a good time. But let me tell y'all something. Right now there's a few people on here. If you share the stream, we need you to share the stream. We need you to like the stream. We need you to comment on here. If you do that, if you share, we're going to go through here and we're going to pick somebody randomly and we're going to give you a $25 gift card from my favorite restaurant.
There we go.
The Alley on Main. My favorite.
Hey, Big Nate Thompson joins us, and that's the guy that makes me look pretty every week. His address is on here, guys. He's appointment only mostly, but he's hey, if anybody can make this masterpiece look great, that guy can do it. And your guy's on here, Mr. Adam Wright.
Adam Wright. Hey, he stayed with me this weekend.
Make sleep on the couch.
He trained the dog this weekend. Hey, if we've got any comments, please let us know.
Brad Elam joined.
Brad Elam, good to see you today. Justin Larson, can't wait to work with you, buddy.
Hey, Brad just said, I just shared, bring me my gift card.
But hey, he's lucky enough to win it. So today we're going to talk about home inspections because Katrina, out of 10 deals, how many people do you think gets a home inspection?
My clients?
Yeah.
My clients are smart and they listen to their agent and they get home inspections to protect themselves.
Ooh, okay. Brad Elam, how many of your clients are getting home inspections? Please post in there. But most of the time, I would say 8 out of 9 people will always elect to do a home inspection.
Bill Wilson.
Did he say he does one?
He just said Vance.
Oh, that's the way he articulates his value.
Yeah.
I know he's here that way.
Justin Larson.
Justin's our new guy. We're going to list his house over there in Blackman. It's going to sell immediately. So we know roughly 80 to 90% of the people are going to do a home inspection. So let's talk about the pros of why you need to get a home inspection.
First-
Before we go negative, go ahead.
Before we get too crazy, we got to realize that with every market, there's different trends and different things you do. So the 80 or 90% of home inspections aren't in every price point right now. So let's just say you're
Okay.
a 150 buyer. If you're a home inspection, there's a good possibility you may not get that house because you have people out there that are buying these things without home inspections. And there's agents out there that are representing buyers, and if that's what they choose to do, and I've done that as well. But in that type of market, you have to be creative. Now, when you get over the market where you don't have 15 offers,
Yep.
then you have that liberation. But let's use for an example that you're a first-time home buyer, and every great agent, Katrina's right. Your due diligence is to tell them you have the right to do a home inspection.
Let's tell the people when you put that. When do you notify you're doing the home inspection? It's in the contract. So
It's in the contract,
so
and it's
it's-
in an addendum that you add to the contract. It doesn't supersede it because the contract supersedes everything. But there's also another paper in there that says you elect to do a home inspection.
So we're notifying people up front we're doing a home inspection.
Right.
So keep going with them.
So let's just say you're in the first-time home buyer's market. Most of the time, you'll have an agent that's a first-time home buyer that's been influenced by their family and friends and said, do not buy a house without a home inspection. A lot of times, you're going to lose 2 or 3 of these houses unless you got a strong network and you've got some ties with some people and you find some stuff before they hit the market. And so what happens is eventually what's happening that you're starting to see more and more is that these agents say, look, do you want the house or not? And then they're going to say, I want it, whatever we got to do to get it. And that's where you're seeing some of these drastic measures. But hey, we're in a seller's market. So when you're in a seller's market, sometimes you got to do some off-the-wall things.
So especially if you're in a price point 175 and under, a lot of the times they may the way they may negotiate instead of going up in prices, they may say, well, if you pick our offer, we won't do a home inspection. So that's what you're
No
saying.
contingencies.
No contingencies.
Give
Seen
example.
that.
A house come on the market yesterday or 2 days ago in Eagleville. Wasn't a great house. In the remarks, it even says buying, selling as is. They had 12 offers in the first half a day. And so once you get 12 offers, you know somebody in that 12 is going to buy with no contingencies. So it's just like playing chess. You have to strategize, what do I do to make my offer competitive? But you have to have a willing and able buyer that's willing to do
That's right.
that as well.
So, Charles, I got your message. Thank you, buddy. Look forward to getting your stuff up here. Let's say if you're the seller, not the buyer. If you're the seller and you're looking at multiple contracts, are you more likely, Katrina, to take a contract that has home inspection language in there or no home inspection language in there?
It all depends on the language. If it's just open-ended home inspection, no. But if you've got a buyer who's been educated and they're stating they're only going to address a structural or a safety issue, that's a whole different ballgame than someone coming in and picking you apart.
But what if you're a seller? Which one are you going to want to deal with? No home inspection or a home inspection that you're only looking at structural issues? If the price is the same.
A seller's going to look at no inspection.
That's right. That's right. So if you really love that house, you may be penalized right now if you're in a multiple offer situation. That's why people have got to act very fast. Correct?
Yeah.
So I'm going to go through my top 3 reasons, and you guys can add in. I'm going to talk about pros, and then I'm going to talk about cons. Are you ready, Kathleen?
Yes, sir.
I'm going to spit this out fast.
Oh,
Number 1.
Shane Ray said, hey, Katrina. David Esther said, I need offers on 406. Andy Herzer joined. So we got several people on here that we didn't get to.
Thank you,
to mention.
weatherman. Thank you. What does David Estes need us to help sell?
He's got a house at 406 Derby Court. I also got some inside scoop. If anybody knows about, it's not my listing, but there's a condo coming up available in General's Retreat, 229.
Ooh, I've got a.
That's pretty hot area.
Hey, I appreciate it. So number 1, pros for why you should do a home inspection. Or why they're done. Number 1, it puts buyers at ease. It gives them more confidence to buy the house. Would you agree with that,
No.
partner?
Well, yes and no. So, I mean, I hate to be, I don't really mind arguing with you, but, okay, so yes, it puts you at ease at first, but no, it doesn't put you at ease when you do the inspection. So there's a lot of emotions through a home inspection. And as Katrina, I've watched her do it, she's a great agent. You have to talk about these things on the front end to realize that you're about to go on a roller coaster ride. And that's what's going to happen, because anytime you buy anything that's man-made, there's going to be stuff wrong with it. So be prepared. So yes, it does put you at ease because you feel like you're buying something and you're protected, but also there's a lot of emotional things because now you know everything wrong with the house.
Well, if you were going to buy it and you saw it and you got through it, wouldn't you say, I feel better now because I know everything that's wrong with the house?
You do, but I mean, how many times we get home inspection back and people say, whew, I'm glad we did that. Because most of the time, you know as well as I do, even the issues that come up, and it's probably one of your cons,
Ooh,
they're telling
are you reading my notes?
They're telling you, I would recommend you calling so-and-so.
Okay, well, a lot of the pros will also have will address a con on the opposite end of it. Number two, Katrina, do you agree with what I'm saying?
Brad said no.
Do you agree with what I'm saying? It makes buyers feel better. It gives them more confidence if they have a home inspection.
It does every time because it addresses a great unknown. And when something's unknown, it has the capacity to appear larger than it actually is.
Okay, I like that. Number two, I feel like you should only locate major problems. Think about this. A home inspector is roughly paid maybe $300 to $400 per house.
Yeah.
Is that what it is?
About 400.
$350, somewhere in that neighborhood. They're there roughly 2 hours. You've got them walking through this house looking at every single thing, and a lot of things they're looking at, it really does not matter. I hate to say it that way, but
That's the best way to say it.
I really think they should go in there and locate major problems. And at the end of this, I'm going to go through and I'm going to name 4 major problems I think you should look at. But too often, we get back a repair proposal where they're wanting ridiculous things fixed.
Yes.
Do you agree with that?
Yes.
Do you agree with that,
Yes.
the Storm? So,
How about everything fixed?
how does that make the seller feel if the home inspection comes back and they want everything on that list fixed?
I mean, it makes them say, I'm not doing it.
That's right. That's exactly right. So I really think you need to pick the major things that you want corrected.
And how much of that falls back on the buying agent for not properly educating their client?
Well, what if there's no way you can properly educate because it's an unexpected event that's going to happen? Because here's how they feel. They feel like we're paying top dollar. Then they're going to start experiencing some buyer's remorse within the next 2 days. Then they get a home inspection. Then they get a chance, no matter how well you prepared them, their emotions take over and they want to start getting back some of their money. Do you agree with that?
Here's a big con with home inspections.
Well, we're not there yet with it, man.
Well, this is with an agent. And not all agents do this. There's some great agents out there, but for you, the ones that aren't great, don't ever tell your client that, hey, if we give top dollar, we can always negotiate down if the home inspection comes back. And that is an awful thing to tell your client because, and there are agents out there that say that, hey, we're in a top dollar market, take it as it is. It's better than being in a no dollar market or not a market at all. So when you have a top dollar market, you have to take the good with the bad, which means you're not going to get everything fixed. You may not get anything fixed, but at least you know what you're buying.
Kathleen, can you see my mohawk?
Yes.
We like to call it a fro hawk.
I need to get it cut in a little.
Shane Whitmore, George Sorter. There's an AC guy that's Fahrenheit.
We're going to talk about some AC here.
Ooh, Brad said if I'm selling, I'm doing a pre-inspection.
That's a great idea, Brad. Is now sellers, the smartest thing for a seller to do before you list your home, especially if it's got some age to it, is do a pre-inspection. Number 3, this is something more people should do whenever they're in a home inspection. Where's all the likes, people? We need some more love. Nobody's liking our stuff. Is this boring, weatherman?
Yeah.
We ain't got nobody loving on us today. Maybe I should listen
Hey,
to you. There's a few
your boy
likes.
asked a great question that makes this topic a lot better.
Who?
Has a home Adam Wright, has a home inspection won a deal for you or lost a deal for you?
Big A, a lot of times it will win you the deal if you say we're not going to do one. A lot of times buyers back out. When I say a lot of times, maybe 15 to 20% of the time, people will back out over something they shouldn't in a home inspection. So number 3, I think they should go in with a home, like Ron Baker is my favorite home inspector. Maybe I shouldn't come out and say this, maybe that's illegal. But Ron
No
Baker,
takebacks.
Ron Baker is my favorite home inspector because I feel like he does the best job at educating the client on future maintenance of things.
Yeah.
He's very good at saying, look, you need to be aware of this. You may need to do this. You may need to do that. So number 3, they should give you advice on what you need to do to maintain the home.
And also remember, you're paying a home inspector $350 to $400 that does not want to get sued in the future.
Mm-hmm.
So there's some language in home inspections to cover their tail. So all they're pretty much is being they're being your eyes. They're being somebody to be on your side and to show you the ugly things about a house. A home inspection is not for either agent. No, there's not an agent out there that says I love home inspections, because we all know that they can be deal killers. We all know that they can cause issues, and we all know that they can also help our clients if there's a major issue that makes us look like a hero if they don't buy a house that's got foundation issues.
That's right. So, hey, now I'm going to go into the major issues that I think you should look at. Then we'll go to the cons of a home inspection. But, hey, I see we've got 10 shares, Kathleen. Only 10 people have shared this. If you share this, you go into the raffle for the $25 gift card for Alley on Main. So I'm going to give you 4 major issues I feel like you should focus on. Number 1 is a roof.
Roof.
You know a lot about roof. How do you say it? Roof.
Roof.
Roof. You should focus on the roof is the way I say it. Number 2, foundation. And when I'm talking about the foundation, I'm also talking about anything underneath. Roy Fraser, our insurance guy, he was telling us this morning, anything underneath the house, because it could cause a leak. Every home out there in Rutherford County that's on a crawl space has some type of moisture, which leads to some type of bacteria.
Fungus.
Mold. That's what they're going to call it, but it's not mold.
Yeah.
There's some kind of fungus growing on everybody's house. Number 3, I think this is very important, is take a look at the HVAC. Can you believe some home inspectors don't even carry they don't even check your HVAC? Is that correct?
Yeah,
That's
matter of
correct.
fact, if it's in the summer or winter time, they can't check it, I think. If
No,
someone
it has
moves-
to be within certain temperature
Yeah,
ranges
yeah.
in order to be accurate. Otherwise, for example, when we had cold weather and they were checking AC, the results are not valid.
So let's Brittany Renee, did you finally get on here, girl? Just wanna
Hey,
see.
what is up?
What is she doing? So let's talk about this. A lot of times people say there's just a leak in the coils leaking. What does that mean? What does that mean, Wyman?
I'm not certified to say some for
Well, okay,
logistics.
in your amateur opinion, what do you think that really means? Because a lot
To a
of
buyer or to an agent?
to a non-interested person.
To a non-interested person. I mean, it doesn't really nothing major. To a buyer, it's like, oh my God, I need a whole new AC unit. You know, so
you don't feel like it's warranted over a leak? Can a leak easily be repaired?
Yes, a leak
Does a
can be
leak
repaired.
mean there's something bigger going on with that unit?
No, not necessarily. It just means the unit may not have been properly maintained, or and the leak could be somewhere major that it does have major issues, and it just depends on how well. I think you got a great AC guy that you're friends with now, Shane Ray. So
Shane Ray could tell us.
so that may be a good AC question, because those questions really get people in trouble because we put answers to it that we really don't know. I can tell you all about roofs, but when it comes to ACs, a lot of times, I do know this, if it's a gas unit and those expansion packs are cracked, that can kill you. And that's a major issue.
Weatherman, quit it, buddy. All right, number 4, I think you should look at your plumbing, your leaks, to make sure there's no other problems going on. Is there any other major things?
Electrical.
Well, how can you actually go through and check your electrical?
Older houses aren't grounded,
Yeah.
so that's a major issue with some things.
Okay.
And you see those come up a lot. If you got a house built in the 50s and you got they may have put the plugs in without grounds.
Okay.
And so a lot of time people have issues with those, especially if you have a basement or things are wet in the crawl space. A lot of older houses are on basements.
Hey, I see some people on here. Brittany Renee. Shane should have been a special
BJ
guest
Henley,
today.
I'm here
BJ, I'm calling you as soon as I'm done. Thank you for getting on here. He's our plumbing guy. Shane Ray. We need to get you up back on this show. We need a big old Shane Ray up here.
Another
the big kahuna.
The other electrical is the fuse box. If it's the old glass fuses, or the new ground fault breakers and the up to code. One thing you got to realize about home inspection: the house does not have to be up to code to today's standards. It has to be up
That's
to
a great
code
point. That's a great
when the
point.
house was built.
So a lot of times whenever these home inspection reports come back, the home inspector is trying to hold the owner accountable to today's codes. And that's
Right.
not really fair, but a lot of times the buyers get it in their mind, that's what I should have, that's what I should expect.
Yes.
So is there anything else you'd like to add on what major issues you should look for, Weatherman?
Well, the reason we look at those as major issues is they're all a pretty hefty price point. So a new roof can be anywhere from $7,000 to $10,000 to $15,000. AC units could be $5,000 to $8,000. Foundation could be anywhere from $3,000 to $23,000. So those are your major issues. A lot of your paint, vinyl siding, those are minimal $1,000 repairs or less. So these are your big ticket items, is what we like to call them.
That's right. So whenever people are wanting to back out of a house, we're really looking at what would be your deal breakers. Roofs.
Roofs, foundation is probably the number one deal breaker.
Yeah.
I would say. And I tell you, a lot of things that hurt home inspection are windows.
Yeah.
Windows.
That is something I did not think about. But yes, home is the windows. So I'm going to move now on to the cons of whenever you do a home inspection. And I'm not telling anybody out there to not do a home inspection. I'm just saying this is the cons of it. So number one con, this is the most, in my opinion, this is the most emotional time of the transaction.
Yes.
This is when things just go to shit. Pardon my language, but this is when things just start going haywire. Is whenever people go through these home inspections, they make things bigger. They turn minor problems into major problems.
Right.
So if it's not one of the 5 that we listed, roof, foundation, HVAC, plumbing, electrical, most everything else can be fixed very simple.
And easily.
So usually we've got one repair guy, excuse me today, we've got one guy that can go over there and usually do most of the things on those little punch lists.
Yeah.
But, if it's 2 things or 20 things, they can usually go over there and knock it out very fast. But whenever a seller sees so many things on there, man, they start to take things very personal.
Yeah.
And when they take things personal, they usually are not willing to negotiate these repairs like they would without being emotional. What do you think about what I'm saying, Weatherman?
I agree totally. And a lot of it comes back down to the agent that's representing the transaction, because if the agent is in the same boat with you and you both have that same mindset, then you've got a pretty rocky transaction. If an agent is up front and say, listen, let's not look at all the minor stuff. Let's look at our major factors. We have a guy that can fix a lot of this minor stuff for $1,000 or less. Mm-hmm. And so would you buy the house if it was only $1,000 different? Most times, yes. And so with the emotions being involved, because already you said it from the get-go, they already think they overpaid.
Yep.
And then when you start seeing 10 or 12 things, then they're automatically in their mindset is this person didn't take care of this house, which is not accurate, because brand new houses have 10, 15
Man,
things
that's
wrong.
right. I mean, we go through punch lists all the time on our new construction, and there's a good chance if your house is 4, 5, 6 years old, a home inspector could actually go in there and pick everybody's
gosh.
home apart. There's something wrong with every house out there. So, number 2, I believe buyers start looking at smaller non-issues. They get off the big.
Yeah.
These small problems will start changing their mind about whether they should buy the house or not.
Exactly right. And
Go ahead.
I hate to say it, but a lot of times too, that home inspectors are pretty smart to know where to put your eyes, and to where they're protected. And nothing wrong with that, because I wouldn't want to be a home inspector. It's not worth the money that y'all have to do. So let's give you an example. So a lot of times, if there's a major issue, they're not going to tell you there's a major issue. They're going to recommend you calling somebody. But anything they can see visually, they're going to take a picture and point it out. Mm-hmm. And then next thing you know, you got 30 pages of visual stuff. That may be a blind broke. That may be a piece of soffit loose. There may be a light bulb out in the bathroom. Mm-hmm. This really shouldn't even matter. But when it's brought to your attention, everything matters.
It does. That's exactly right. You blow it up bigger than what it is. So the number one pro I said is it puts buyers at ease. It gives them confidence about buying the house. Well, The con, number 3, is it often makes the buyer second guess the purchase. It takes away their confidence. So if you're looking to sell your home and you've got multiple offers coming in, just remember they're going to ask for they're going to put in the contract if they want to do a home inspection. So as you're looking at these offers, don't only look at the price, don't only look at the loan type. Also, right now people are leaving out appraisals. They're also leaving out the home inspection language. So what this will do is it will, if there's no home inspection on the seller side, it's going to eliminate a lot of the ups and downs.
And it gives you a secure feeling,
Yes.
especially if they're buying something else as well.
Now, if you're buying a house, we're never going to tell you to not do a home inspection, because me and the weatherman were talking this morning about some people over the last year in, like, let's just say, especially 150 and under. I don't even know what, if a home were to come on the market right now at $150,000, I don't know what, even if you wanted to buy it, I could not guarantee you had a 50% chance of buying the house.
Oh, that's, yeah.
It may be like 25%, maybe even lower, because there's a lot of other people that are going to be bidding on it. A lot of cases, it's Wall Street monies
Yeah.
or
All
hedge
cash,
funds,
no appraisal.
all cash, no appraisals, no home inspection. So if you're going to buy a house under that price point, you're really hurting your negotiation. You're hurting yourself. Now, I'm not saying to do it. I am not saying to not get a home inspection. If your agent tells you not to get a home inspection, you need to understand why they're telling you to do that. So the higher you go up in price, it gets less competitive. So I would always tell you, the more expensive the home is, you just need to go ahead and do a home inspection, because you don't have the competition to compete against.
If you were buying a house today at 150, what would your offer be?
Well, it depends, Weatherman. That's a good
If
question.
it's over off Jones Boulevard in a great area,
Okay, now that's a great question. It depends on the price I'm offering.
right?
If it's a listed home and it's 150 and I think it's worth 150, I'm probably not even going to buy it. I'm not going to bid on it. I wouldn't even buy it. The only way, most of the ways I've ever bought a home, I have not done a home inspection.
Right.
Let's see.
You didn't do one on this last one you bought.
I didn't do one on this last one, but I've always made sure I was buying it at buying enough equity to where I felt
Right,
like,
makes sense.
it's going to make sense. So I don't know on any house that I've ever bought, I've done a home inspection. But again, this last house, I probably paid closer to retail, but I know who owned the house.
Yeah.
I know how well he took care of it.
And you also know that you wouldn't have been the only one that would have put a contract if it went live.
All right. Yeah, that's right.
You know.
And I know this. If I would have put home inspection language in there, he would not have negotiated the same way he
I
did with
agree,
me.
yeah.
So, what would you like to add, Weatherman?
I mean, I think we're just touching on a touchy subject, and you got ups and downs and pros and cons, and at the end of the day, we have a fiduciary duty to our clients to influence them on what is in a contract. And in the contract, it says you have the right to or not to do a home inspection. You have the right to waive all inspections. No matter what inspection you waive, always remember, if you're doing an FHA loan or a VA loan, you have to pass certain inspections anyway, and you have to have that termite letter a lot of times. So make sure when you waive all the inspections that there's some stuff in there about your termite inspection, because that's included in some of your inspections. I also know that when you're in a seller's market and a certain price point, you don't have the luxury that you do at a $350 or $400 price point. So sometimes you have to take drastic measures, and with that comes pros and cons.
Mm-hmm.
I also know that great agents will show you the property condition disclosure when you do the contract. I forget that a lot of times. We have to go back and look at it. But a lot of times it tells you already the unit's 15 years old.
Mm-hmm.
Well, guess what? It doesn't mean they have to replace the unit. They're just telling you it's 15 years old. It could work a year. It could work 5 years.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if it's working when they do the home
Hey,
inspection.
thanks, Kira.
They don't have to replace that unit just because it's older. And when
That's
you
right.
write that contract and you sign that property condition, you're letting them know that you know that unit's 15 years old.
Hey, I want a few comments on here. Would be glad to be a guest on your show sometime. talk HVAC. Shane Ray, you're welcome to come in anytime.
Justin Reed was on here a minute ago. He does some rehab and building houses. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
Justin Larson, by the way, perfect topic, was just telling Till it's not mandatory for us to have an inspection done. No, it's not mandatory, but you can also have a home inspection done on your new home. The best time to do that, Justin, is once everything is completed, the power's on. You don't want to have a home inspection without the water and the electricity on.
And you don't have to use home inspectors. You can actually use contractors. You can actually hire an HVAC, electrical guy, plumbing guy. The inspection just tells you have the right to inspect the house. It doesn't mean you have to hire a professional home inspection company. You can actually, if you can get them out there, you can hire a foundation guy, a plumber, an electrician, an AC guy. The reason that's not very normal is because it's so hard to get them in a time point, and with as busy as everybody is, it's probably going to cost you about $200 or $300 more.
Now, I do think if you have a home inspection done and it's not by a professional, you're going to have a much harder time convincing the sellers of getting the repairs done. Hey, here's a good topic. Think about this. If you're a seller and you have the home inspection report given to you, what if you're a very handy man and you can go in there and fix all those things? How would you feel if you're the buyer if it's not done by a professional?
You know, I'm going to tell my people on the front end, a lot of this stuff the homeowner's probably going to do himself. You know, but every contract you see, for some reason we put this verbiage in there, has to be done by a licensed, contracted professional. Well, let's face it, it's very rare that you can get somebody in a 14-day, and actually you probably have 7 days left on the contract time to get somebody out there to do those things, or you're going to be talking about some extensions.
Well, man, we need to bring that up. We didn't even bring that up. Whenever you do your contract, you roughly got about 15 days, right, Katrina, to get the home inspection out there, get the repairs back, and notify them what you want done.
Well, that's all negotiable in the contract. Some people write 15 just for the inspection itself and then 5 for the response. It just depends on what you're putting in there and how carefully your agent is watching out for you.
So if you're a seller, the last thing you want to do is have this home off the market for 20 days, and then you don't come to an agreement on the home on the repairs. So if I'm buying a house, here's something else I think you should do. If you're going to have a home inspection done and there's things that are important to you, you probably want to have language in there to have it re-inspected to make sure the work was done properly. Now, we hate doing that on the seller side because what that does, it puts sellers at risk because it ain't over until they come back and re-inspect it. My mama, Linda Brooks, she lives in Regency Park. She's got a home, or her neighbor is putting their home up on the market. It was a flipper. It's going to be a real nice home. So
real nice.
Real nice. If you're looking in Regency Park, there's going to be a house. You can be my mama's neighbor. Was there anything in here, any questions we've missed?
No, I don't think so. I think you got to be wary of your time frames on home inspection. They're probably about a week out, unless you can get somebody. Let's just say you're seeing a lot of people come back with the verbiage saying you have 7 days to do a home inspection or business days. So don't let those business days get you. 14 business days is about a freaking 21 days. So remember the business days in there.
Now, Brad Elam says he's got 3 duplexes coming up.
Sure does.
I need to know about that, Brad.
There's a couple here, and there's a couple in Nashville and somewhere else. So,
if anybody's looking for duplexes, Brad Elam is going to have a few duplexes come up. Katrina, is there anything you'd like to add on this touchy topic today?
I think the best thing buyers can do in today's market, knowing that it is a seller's market, is to have very firmly put in your mind what you're looking for, what you're willing to do when you find the perfect home. Because if you wait to the last minute to try to make those decisions, it's going to make you crazy because you're going to feel rushed and pressured. Whereas if you will sit down with your agent, take a smart look at the market and be accurate in what you're looking at, then you can already make these decisions ahead of time so that when you come on that perfect house, you know what you can do and what you're not willing to do ahead of time.
That's right. That's exactly right. That's a good point. Yeah, the more prepared you can be, I feel like it puts you in a better position. You're not going to be as emotional. It's going to be easier. And, you know, a lot of times, we don't want to say this, but a lot of times the buyer's agent can make the report a lot worse than what it actually is. So the way they communicate with their client
Yeah.
can make it a lot worse than what it actually is. So we've been going now about 35 minutes. Want to put a quick plug out there for my new baby, Straight from the Gut, on Thursday nights with GTT. We're talking about how screwed up I used to be, Weatherman. You gonna turn in, aren't you?
Hey, I tell you what, you've been going long. You pretty messed up.
Well, I was messed up for 36 years, and on Thursday nights at 8 o'clock, I like to share my journey. I like to
About an
talk.
hour and 20 minutes.
I'm gonna, as long as people are on there, I'm gonna keep talking. But I like to share my journey. I'm 43 years old. I would love it. I love the idea of talking back to Tommy at 30 what I should have been doing. So that's kind of the format of the show. So people, please tune in. Please watch. We do the same thing. You get in there. You share the stream. You get in the raffle for the Alley on Main giveaway. So
Chicken Parmesan.
chicken.
folks.
Oh, that's so good, man.
You know what I like about Straight from the Gut?
What?
Ever since I finished up Shameless, it's like I went right into a new season.
I'm Frank Gallagher.
Man,
all over
I love-
again. I've
yeah.
even got my jumping jack.
Yeah.
And my,
It's like
and
I
my
went
coat.
right into a new season.
Have you finished?
Not yet, but I'm close.
Me.
I'm trying to spare my days.
So we'll be back next Wednesday, as always, 1 o'clock, right here on the Facebook, Thomas C. Davidson. We're always going to make something very simple about real estate. We like to do edutainment. We like to entertain. We like to educate the people because we want to be your #1 digital source for real estate content in Murfreesboro, Tennessee. Guys, thank you for watching. We're going to go ahead and shut it down. If you've got any questions, please post. Don't tell your agent we said don't get a home inspection. We didn't say that. So thank you for watching, everybody. Have a great day.